Hi, I'm Joy,
Hi, I'm Lorraine.
and this is Girlish Gurus. And Lorraine, why are we here?
We're here to talk about mid-lifestyle topics for women who are 45 and older to help you live your best, healthiest, and most fulfilled life. We're also going to have lots of fun along the way.
So let's get started.
Can I tell you guys, nice to see you. Can I tell you a funny story? Because funny's always good.
Yeah.
So I just got my hair done on Newbury Street in Boston. I'm at a hotel and I'm walking with my AirPods because Caryn and I just did a creative collaborative meeting and one of my AirPods fell out. And it's like my ears are so little, they always fall out the beats. And I am looking everywhere on the sidewalk, like everywhere. And I touch my pockets, my bag, I'm emptying everything. And I just got ready looking in the mirror and it was like right here. It like went right. It's like, wait, what is that necklace right there? I'm like, so there's that.
Happens to me all the time.
And I love that we're all in sleeveless tops. That's so great.
It's so hot here. Oh,
So it's so good to see the two of you. And let me ask you quickly, because you said creative collaborative.
No,
is
curious.
No, it's a
I
curious
say
collaborative.
curious
I saw
collaborative.
your sign above your head and my brain picks up a lot
Okay.
of different things. Sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we didn't screw it up out of the gate.
No, you're good. You're good.
Great. So Joy is the producer, so she's gonna give you the little spiel before we get started. But you guys, I mean, you
yeah,
guys
I'm
are
sure
pros.
you know. I'm sure
Yeah,
you.
you're more pros at this than we are. So
This is my favorite part. I enjoy the technical aspect of it. And what we're shooting for is a 30-ish minute podcast episode. Sometimes we could go a little longer, but pretty much 30 minutes is our sweet spot. And if you fumble your words or you say something that you would like to say differently or better, just give me a little beat so I can clip it and post. And aside from that, I really think you all are very pro at all of this. So
Yeah, we're all about progress, not perfection. So we don't need to fix anything because fixing is not a thing for us.
and it's not authentic at all.
Exactly.
and our one of our taglines is life
Isn't perfect, and neither are we.
So-
I think like the age of over curation is behind us and that we're leaning into something much deeper and more sustainable. So
Yeah,
I
excited
agree.
to hear all about it. So when we get started, Joy will just do our usual intro, and then I'll do your bios, and then we can jump in.
great.
Can I
Okay.
just talk? Can I just talk to you a second about bios? So, do you read the bio or do you look at it and then put your spin on it? I'm just curious.
I read it.
Okay.
Only
Well,
because I
I
don't
want to
wanna-
give you full permission that you can not have to read every word and whatever flows out of your mouth is
Okay.
totally fine. Like,
Same.
And that's mostly because I'm a menopausal woman, and we would be starting over about 10 times if you let me just go at it.
That is true. I can confirm that. Yes. Lorraine, you're
love it.
delightful. All right.
Yeah.
Are you everybody ready?
ready,
ready.
Freddie.
Rumble.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of Girlish Gurus. I'm Joy.
And I'm Lorraine.
Oh, Lorraine, what are we talking about today?
We have two special guests with us today, and these are two women who I have admired online. Sue B. Zimmerman, I have been following forever, and just got recently introduced to Caryn through the Curious Collaborative. So we are so excited to have them both here today. And before we jump in, like Joy and I are both in this space, same kind of space, women over 50, 55, looking for inspiration, looking for their new passion and purpose. So this conversation will be centered all around the good stuff. So let me just get started with reading their bios. So Sue B. Zimmerman is an insightful, energetic, and in-demand online marketing educator, influencer, speaker, and a no BS business coach. Love it. And I think maybe Joy and I may be using you in the future. She is a popular creative live instructor and has been named by Huffington Post as one of the top 50 must-follow women entrepreneurs, as well as the top 50 social media marketing influencers. And whether she's taking a global stage or speaking at an industry conference like Social Media Marketing World or working one-on-one with her clients, Sue B is driven to help business owners leverage the power of Instagram to meet and exceed their business goals. Love it, and we do need you.
Right.
Yeah.
Same.
And Caryn Mefford is a conscious leadership coach and transformation guide. She is a workshop facilitator and speaker dedicated to empowering individuals and teams to discover their true brilliance and achieve transformative results in their lives by harnessing the power of the three centers of intelligence, head, heart, and gut. Caryn guides her clients on a profound journey of self-awareness and growth, helping them connect deeply with their authentic selves. So welcome, ladies.
Yes,
We're
welcome.
so happy to be here. Yeah.
Yeah, we are thrilled to have a conversation with you and your audience and share whatever wisdom unfolds from this interview.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, really, we are your audience too. Like Lorraine said, we've both been following you, particularly, Sue, for quite some time. And we have taken those steps to move into that space. So we are really primed for this conversation for sure. And I have to say, around, I think, the first of the year, I started seeing the two of you on my Instagram feed with this new project, the Curious Collaborative. And okay, we're really busy. It's funny how when your platform is still small, you can be as busy as ever, right? So the two of us, we are putting things together and doing projects and recording podcast episodes and planning retreats and things like that. And so I haven't had the chance to do a very deep dive into the Curious Collaborative. And when Lorraine said, let's have them on the podcast, I was like, oh, now's my chance. So can you explain, for the benefit of me and our listeners, what's going on with the Curious Collaborative? How did that get started?
It is a fun story. Caryn, I'll let you dial it back to like the connection that you and I made, and then we'll bring in like this like insanely amazing like community that we wanted to build.
Yeah. So, Sue and I have met each other actually at Social Media Marketing World. So it's interesting that you referenced that in the bio. And I was just launching my coaching practice, and Sue and I made a connection. I went to one of her speeches and then one of her talks, and then we connected, and I ended up supporting their team at SBZ and Instagram Expert. And from there, we've evolved into a deep, meaningful connection and friendship and relationship and co-collaborative support system of both of our businesses, actually. And we were both engaged at a talking event at a big conference in Chicago, and we'll talk about that hopefully later. But from there, we were just like, we were inspired to how do we bring smart women together? Like, how do we generate these conversations, these safe spaces of trust and growth and exploring and deepening to help business? Because like a lot of women are often kind of asking themselves, giving themselves permission or not giving themselves permission. And we really recognize that in both of our coaching clients. We work with hundreds of humans that are struggling with this. So, but it is, so this is kind of like the seed of the idea. And we said, well, let's just start it. And curiosity is at the epicenter of everything that I do. But Sue, take it from here.
Yeah. So I love that you said the seed of our idea, because it really was our idea. And I am an entrepreneur who has launched 18 different businesses. So I'm very nimble and very open to trying and doing new things, which I know a lot of people aren't. And I am like, if you don't do it, you don't know. So let's see. And so Caryn and I were talking, and we're like, well, what should we name it? And I said, I really want it to be a community, but I want it to be collaborative. Like, we wanted it to be collaborative, so everyone that was a part of the community felt heard and seen and understood, and in the company of others with, the same values. And so Caryn's, I think, favorite word, correct me if I'm wrong, is curiosity. And as our business coach and as my business coach, she always has taught me and my team to just be more curious and not not assume anything but positive intent. And so I was like, okay, it should be called the Curious Collaborative. And she's like, that's it. We didn't even have to take a beat. We were both like, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how it was born.
I love that.
That is awesome. And Caryn, the way you approach it is harmonizing intellect,
So I really like
emotion, and
it's the yeah.
instinct.
There are three centers of intelligence, right? And a lot of people we're very familiar with our headspace. We're very familiar with thought and logic and the right and wrong way to do things. Most of us are less familiar with our heart center intelligence and our body intelligence. Some people
Even though we're women, right?
even though we're women.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's been heavily prioritized. I mean, I'm from a corporate background, so like I understand performance metrics and KPIs, and I can give you all of the lingo of headspace thinking. And I think in my journey as a conscious leadership coach, what's very clear to me is even when we think we're using logic as a framework for decision making, we're actually using feelings. So feeling is at the epicenter of all of our actions. It's our validator or our discreditor. It just it is really the information kind of conduit. And so if we can understand that, most of us can't even name the feeling we're having. So
True.
we're at a disadvantage when we don't have the intelligence of being able to articulate pragmatically what our feelings are and how they're informing our actions. And actually, is it in alignment with our objectives? And so the pillar and cornerstones of conscious leadership are having awareness and discovery around that, and then a vocabulary and a modality for using that as pragmatic tools in success.
Within the women's group, within the collaborative, what does that look like for women? How do you approach that in the group?
Yeah, it's a great question. We
Yeah.
actually every month have a theme, a kind of a concept, and we have a framework that leverages our intelligence, our mental, our emotional, and our physical things.
Yeah.
So we've done body mapping as an action. We've done identifying what is on an emotion wheel, like what we think a feeling is. Some people, we're so conditioned to like not even name certain feelings because they're too scary or something. And actually it's like, well, wait, there's data in there. Like feelings are data. And so we walk through, and actually every theme that we have every month has now the practice. We build the practice of auditing our thoughts, our emotions, and our physical sensations to see where they're aligned and integrated, and also where they're discordant, and so we can know what needs attention. So it's very much a practical application.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, and just to
Yeah.
share, I mean, this is a monthly virtual mastermind, we like to call it, so that everyone who is on the call gets to really share and in their experience, depending on what the theme is. And like Caryn said, I mean, we take this very seriously in that we have emails that we send out prior with this pre-work, because we just don't want it to be a free-for-all
Right.
community call. We want people to do the hard work, to feel the feelings, to experience that emotional intelligence, especially around business.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's been very organic, and we just did our sixth session, so we're halfway through the first year of this new business, and it feels great.
It really does. It's an invitation into like kind of letting ourselves be fully present in a space, and how we use that in our business every day. Because the my favorite thing to say is we think that we can split ourselves right between professional, personal, our business, our work life, our married life. And I'm like, okay, literally
Mm-mm.
you're the same human all day long.
I so
Like
agree with that. Yes.
you are literally human 100% of the time. And so how do you know your operating system actually? Like, do we say, okay, we're going to take the right wheel of a car and take that to work, and the left wheel of the car is going to take the kids to daycare, and the rear wheel is going to go? No, like that's not it.
Yeah. You
But
bring your whole self to the table,
bring your
Right.
whole self all the
Right.
time. Right.
and
Yeah.
you might as well leverage that.
You might as well
Yeah.
leverage.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it can feel very vulnerable, especially for women who grew up needing permission to do certain things and feel a certain way and please. We have a lot of people pleasers in the group, and
Yes.
we just kind of unpack that and help people really step into their true authentic power. And it's been really fulfilling.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's really meaningful when you drop down for 1 minute and kind of say the truth about a thing. And when that truth comes forward, suddenly, like the whole world opens up, and you're held in this space that's the Curious Collaborative that is, just a real container for holding what is real and what is true, and then encouraging action or change or maybe like reinvestment, maybe doubling down on the thing that's true. Sometimes is what's required too.
I do think it's important to point out that statement that you just made,
Mhm.
how difficult it is for most people to get into the headspace where they can say the truth about a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That in
Yeah.
and of itself is climbing a mountain for sure.
It is. I'd never say that the journey to emotional intelligence is without discomfort, but I think it's also can be, it doesn't have to be fearful. It actually probably won't kill us. So it might actually help us, and I think that what's fun is creating a container that has some gamification and some exploration. And this is why we go through the three centers. Sometimes it's like, you have a sensation in your body and you don't even know why it's there, right? Like if I ask and investigate where a feeling lives, like after you've identified it or not, you're going to say, oh, like, oh, that's what that feeling is. Like,
Yeah.
that's what that feeling is. Oh, I never knew. I never made the connection that this was what it was. So,
Mm.
and then you just have a greater vocabulary and more skills, literally skills. Like I want everyone to, our listeners, your listeners who are women, to think about this as a tactical advantage to accomplishing literally anything. Because one of the
Yeah.
things Sue and I have unilateral agreement on is that we believe that every human is capable of literally whatever they freaking want. Like
Yeah.
there might be modifications. I'm not saying, like whatever the limitation, whatever the challenge, whatever the thing is, I just
Yes.
know that humans are so capable because they have infinite resource within them that
Mhm.
not properly investigating. And so it's exciting to create spaces where they can do that.
So for the women that come into the group, do you see most of them as being entrepreneurs necessarily or seeking a new purpose? I know that you're geared towards women 55 and over, but are there younger women that are coming in?
We do have some younger women that
Yeah.
are in, and I think it's a yes and. I don't know what
Yeah.
you would say, Sue. I
Yeah.
think it's a yes
Yeah.
and.
Well, they all have a business for sure.
Hmm.
But we don't discriminate with age. Um, and the majority are 55 plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
would say that like some are starting a business and either leaving or changing a career, they're at a transition. I think that's true. Everyone is in
Yeah.
some sort of transition. And also they have some are still working while they launch their own business, right?
Mhm.
Like it's different for every person.
Well, I think in a way that's kind of like us and how we got started. We've actually
Mhm.
been going for a little while. And would that you were around with the Curious Collaborative back in 2016 when Lorraine and I took our first little trip together and started forging our, I don't know, it's more than a friendship, really. We call
Mhm.
ourselves work wives sometimes, but
Yeah.
it's really just it's one of the most profound relationships I think I've ever had in my
Yeah.
life. I love you,
And
Lorraine.
I love you too. And we've been transitioning through the past 9, 10 years.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
get to this point.
Yeah.
And really, there were a lot of mastermind groups and things like that around, but none like this that were specifically geared
Mhm.
toward women.
Mhm.
And I'm interested in figuring out how you zeroed in on that market share and saw that there was a gap, because
Mhm.
that's not necessarily an intuitive thing to look for. You're thinking of how can I gather as many people into my mastermind as possible.
Yeah, well, I think it goes back. I mean, I've been an online educator for 12 years. So I have a very large audience and um have coached thousands of women and created a course and have over a huge community there and so this is more niche And I have found, like I teach my clients, the riches are in the niches. And I personally have been doing in-person meetups for 12 years. And now masterminds that Caryn is a part of here at my house on Cape Cod in Massachusetts, and also at in La Jolla in California. I live there in the winter, and so we have done these masterminds together. So it goes like this. I'm just going to share really quickly. It's like, what feels right to you, and what is your truth. And so what has always felt right to me is building community. How do you build community? In person, online, but you gotta make it happen. You gotta put yourself
Right.
out there in front of
Mhm.
the right people. And some people come and they're not the right people, and some people come and they are. And how do you get laser focused, hyper focused on attracting those that you want to serve? And so that's in your marketing and in your messaging. And if there's a disconnect with that, it just doesn't happen. And so we got very laser focused, building the momentum of my online expertise and education over the past 12 years. And Caryn has a ton of experience. And we are similar and different, and we have different skill sets, and we're very similar in the way that our zest for life and everything we do. And like you two, we are like best friends and like can't get enough of each other. In fact, we're pen pals.
We are
And
pen
so,
pals.
and
It's true.
so,
I love
and
it.
it's beautiful and it's unique and it's special. And I think everyone that's in our circle feels that energy of the two of us and and just loves it. It's magnetic, it's infectious. It's like, give me more, I want more. So how do you create more?
Mhm.
And so this is us saying, how can we build this in the fabric of our lifestyles? Because Caryn and
Mhm.
I both love to travel a lot. And and with that comes opportunity where people want to be with you in nice environments. So we've been able to create this in-person complementary opportunity for gathering as much as we do the online. And our vision is to eventually do an actual event. We don't even know what that looks like yet,
We're
but we
coming.
know that we're
Yeah,
building the
we'll be there.
momentum. We're building the momentum.
We
We're making shit happen, and it's happening, and it feels good, and it's all progress, not perfection, and doing it and feeling it and talking about it and experiencing it. And a lot of people have these plans to do things, but they don't do all the steps to get the thing. So you don't really know if you want the thing until you do the thing. And Caryn and I are constantly checking in.
right.
And so it's just to answer that specific question, it comes from experience, it comes from knowledge, and it comes from doing the work where we are personally in community with women that we attract. Does that make sense?
It does.
Mhm.
It makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll,
Yeah.
and I'd like to just add that I think the question that we always ask is like, what feels true to us? So, like, it feels true to me that this is an area where we can lend guidance authentically, truthfully, and experientially. Like, we are women, in I'm in my 50s, and, so there is, I have support kind of communities that are male focused as well, because of my clients are across the board. But I do recognize the need for that support. And every time we lean in when we have our check-ins, it's like, okay, is this feeling true? Like, how does this feel? Well, that's our probably number one question we keep checking in is like, does this feel like right to you? Like in alignment and where you're kind of wanting to put your focus and your energy and your time. And when we do that, when you do that, then you're suddenly, you're attracting it because it's just authentic, it's real,
It's
it's true, it's
energy.
Yeah.
energy.
It's energy.
Exactly. That's the word. It's
Yeah.
energy. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So how does the collaborative redefine what success looks like for us in our 50s, 60s, and beyond?
Oh gosh. Well, sky's the limit. I mean,
Yeah.
right? Sky's the limit. I don't
Yeah.
believe in age boundaries. I just don't. I'm here and house sitting for my niece. I brought my 89-year-old mom with me to like have her live, right? Like be alive, have her cells live and participate in action today.
Mhm.
Okay. So I don't believe in age limitation. I
Mm-mm.
just don't. But I also understand that we're in a world where there's a lot of messaging that might be fighting about that. I
Mhm.
don't absorb that. I just say, okay, you can be
Mhm.
fighting about that over here while I go lean in here. And
Yeah.
Sue is the same way. Like that's a
Yeah.
Yeah.
common thread that we have.
Yeah, and redefining it, like I firmly believe and have witnessed it over 12 years that every single time we are in a circle of trust, there are connections that are made beyond, like, Caryn and I as the leaders of this movement. I'm calling it a movement. We're calling it a movement. And one of the beautiful things that happened when Caryn and I were in Chicago speaking at a conference, we had 12 attendees come to a mastermind, and two of them now work together, and two of them they talk every morning, like, and they're both coaching clients of mine, so I hear from both of them, and I'm like, there's this beautiful marriage in our community, and it wouldn't have happened if we didn't do this.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. I think like when you hold space for like, what do you need help with? Right? Like if I ask Joy and Lorraine, like what you need help with, and you think about it,
We
you
can
might
tell you.
say, yeah, I mean, that's that curiosity lead again,
Yeah.
right? And so like when you open the curious questions, like magic stuff just automatically will come out. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is yet, but I know it will come out. I'm certain of it. And so it's cool that these people are working together. It's like we asked actually this month we asked them, what does it mean to them? What does this group mean to them?
Yeah.
And we got literally 12 different words around sisterhood, collaboration, a trust,
Yeah.
safety, right?
Yeah.
It's what we all crave. So it's really exciting.
That's,
Well,
I was just going to say, when women gather together, right? I
powerful
mean,
things
yeah,
happen. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, and it's so true.
Absolutely.
Hey, Lorraine, don't forget, it's time for us to schedule our Lifeline screening appointments. They're 5 simple tests to help us keep on top of our heart and bone health, which is important for women over 45.
Yes, Lifeline Screening has been the premier provider of preventative health screening for over 30 years. In that time, over 10 million people have had screenings to detect their risk of stroke, cardiovascular disease, and other chronic illnesses. Lifeline Screening can provide meaningful benefits for your body and mind, and that's why they're committed to delivering accurate results and recommendations that could give you a healthier advantage in your everyday life, such as early detection of serious conditions, prevention of disease progression, peace of mind so you can enjoy life, savings with more affordable screenings, and no insurance required.
Yep, and don't forget, by using the link in the show notes of this episode, you get a special offer available to Girlish Gurus listeners, so make sure and schedule your appointment.
Get peace of mind now. Here's to your good health.
Yeah.
Well, for us, I will say this. One of the great things about Lorraine and I, first of all, I trust her implicitly. And the other thing is, we don't bring ego to the table.
Mhm.
And
Right.
we connect with each other. Hey, can you pick up this ball that needs to be moved forward? And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's
I
nice.
think and wouldn't you agree, Joy, that like other working situations, like because we're so structured on a performance basis, it's like we then show up performatively.
I
So
agree.
design your own yardstick of what success looks like. And when you design what's true for you and you can validate that, then you literally are going to move forward in positive progress and action.
Yeah.
And
It's
we are.
that's
Yeah.
it. That's
That's
why we
great. That's
exist.
exciting.
Yeah, and I'm probably the oldest of all of you here. I'm 67, just turned 67, and I intend to keep going.
Yeah.
So, and each year I'll find a different purpose, a different passion, and like we're going to do retreats now, and I just love the fact that I'm encouraged and inspired by women like you to keep going and to be, I guess, accepted in community,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
at my age.
Of course.
Oh
We
gosh.
have
Yeah.
women in this community in their 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a woman that goes on a cold plunge every morning, like every day as like a ritualistic habit. And
That's awesome.
I
Yeah.
can't do it, but good for her.
I mean, no, but like it's just exciting. I get excited when people lean in and share because I also were inspired. Like
Yeah.
I don't think Sue and Karen think like we have the answers to everything. We're on this journey of exploration too. And this is the framework we're using to get as much life out of living that we can do. And we
Yes.
want that for you too.
Great.
I've been a little off piste here, Lorraine, so you might need to corral me a little.
Okay. No, that's okay. You were going to do the next question.
Okay. So you've talked a little bit about what the Curious Collaborative is in terms of how it functions practically. Can you walk us through one of those sessions and kind of give us a sneak peek into how they operate?
Yeah, I would like to start with, and Karen, please jump in after I share this. So, because I've been teaching Instagram for 12 years, I had this brilliant idea to start it in the Instagram direct message in a group.
Oh,
On Instagram, you can have hundreds of people in a group. So we have a private Instagram direct message group. It's a great feature on Instagram where Karen and I share updates and information in this private group for our community, as well as our email marketing that we do with it. And there we give inspiration. There we share like the aftermath of some of our monthly calls, and it just keeps us connected throughout the month. The monthly call is done on Zoom. Karen leads this call, and I contribute to the call, obviously. But this is really a lot of this, what we are teaching about mind, body, and heart is from Karen's work that she's done. So it's a beautiful balance of using Instagram and also like doing our Zoom calls in a structured container. Anything you want to add to that, Karen?
No, I think that was really well said. And so each month there, are women that invest in this, both, they get some pre-work. We'll have a theme. We have the themes mapped out for the whole year. It's an arc. Okay. It is an arc. It starts, curiosity was definitely one of the months of the theme. So each month we're building on that. And so,
Yeah.
for example, this month was confidence. And they have pre-work that takes snippets from those previous months and
Yeah.
built into the pre-work. And then as we saw today on today's call, just the opening, the trust, all of that is reaping a lot of that
Yeah.
richness in the conversation and in the shifts that are happening. And then we usually lead with an action challenge of some kind to take action on that's very customized, specific to the individual.
Yeah. And would it be helpful for your audience to hear about the investment and how this works?
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
Karen and I, yeah, we wanted this to be very affordable to women who really want to be in community. And we also know, like from a business standpoint, that if you can incentivize someone to make a year commitment and offer a significant discount, it's like a no-brainer. So we charge only $250 to be a member of the Curious Collaborative a month. And if you decide to pay in full, it's only $1,000. And this price point is for our first 25 beta, we're calling like beta testers. We're almost there, Karen.
I know.
It's a small, mighty community, and it's working really well. And I really like this business model as someone who's been selling digital products, because it's like, okay, wait, it would cost me $1,000 for 4 months, or I can get 12 for 1,000. Of course, I'm going to invest in the year. And so it's been really, it's been great.
Yeah, agree. Nothing to add there. It's flowing and we'll see how it builds, right? Like our goal is I want humans to come in that are ready to invest in themselves, like both in the time and they do we will send a recording of the session, and also we invite everyone every month to say like, can you carve out an hour a month just about you? Like,
Yeah.
what does
So
that look
especially women at this phase of life are
Right.
looking for a purpose. So
Mhm.
what would you guys say to someone who is just like on the precipice of saying yes to that next venture, that next inspiration? Like, say someone would be interested in coming into the mastermind, but they don't really know, like, they have an idea of what maybe their purpose would be, but they really are kind of like on the fence about it, or they maybe don't know and
Yeah,
they
well,
need
it's
some
just such a,
guidance.
I hear you. Okay, so it's a very safe environment to explore.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, this journey will explore and help you refine it and get clarity on it. I
Yeah.
mean, period, full stop. Hands down, if you spend a month doing the pre-work, coming to the workshop and anything in between, if you just did that as a bare minimum, you are going to find clarity without
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Lorraine, you and I have been in that space before too. I started off doing personal finance education. And so it took me a while. I had a little small business going, but it took me a while to begin to get to the point where I was refining my purpose and my idea, and my momentum changed, of course, because of that. But really, it became a whole different ballgame when I settled on, oh, I think podcasting and the technical aspect of it is what speaks to me at this point. So it's a process that I can understand might be difficult for women to take that step and just dive in and start learning about it.
I just think it's funny. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, Joy, because I think it's so funny that we have this condition that says, I need to find my purpose and it's going to magically fall from the sky without any investigation or any action or any development. Like, it's so, we're crazy. Like, that's no, like, literally it
Right.
requires intention. It's the same script that says, like, somehow you're adult when you're 20. What? No, like, the journey is just beginning. It's like a commitment to learning and exploring and navigating changes. And what I have seen is that we have a lot of scripts, right, in our life. Like, okay, there's high school, there's school, whatever, kid, high school, college, married, whatever. And then we get to these years, and guess what? The script has totally changed because our parents were doing totally different things. And so we don't have that modeled. Like, I didn't know that I would be, working with my parents to help them, or my husband's parents to help them. I didn't know that was part of the picture. I didn't know what my role would be. Like, I had this sort of like kind of a vague image. And now I'm like, I'm not thinking about retirement. I don't even know what that means. I want to stay engaged and active and productively contributing into things that ignite me until my last breath on earth. And that feels actually more current with the time that we live in, right?
Yeah,
Definitely.
I feel exactly the same way. And I find, like, especially for women in my circle, maybe girlfriends, nieces, whatever, there's a fear that
Yeah,
comes with a lot of it, that they don't want to step outside their comfort zone.
yeah,
And so
yeah.
there's that fear of actually taking that step and doing something. So they get kind of comfortable where they are.
And that's why it requires investigation, right?
Yeah.
Like, that was the thought behind a year curriculum, because I also think we're quite addicted to, like, automatic and speed,
Yes.
and actually investigation takes time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
really, like, integrating what our awareness is. I love hearing, someone that kind of was in space A in January and now they're here in June and they've integrated, and I can hear that. We can hear that reflected back in these monthly masterminds. And it's so, that's special. That feels intimate and special. And I feel grateful to be in presence of it. But that's how long transition and investigation and learning and growth take. And we should hold space for that. There's no judgment.
You
Yeah.
should. And another thing that I found to be powerful and that I have learned since I started this process is you can't create out of want.
No, no,
You
no.
really can't. You will find every door closed and you will hit every wall. You have to be in the right headspace. That's why that comment is so powerful about speaking the truth of the thing. You have to be in the right space to make some of these things that have never been in the world before move forward, like birthing something you've never seen before, something no one's ever done before. You can't, you've got to be in the right headspace. And that's just my opinion. That's just what I've learned from the beginning of this process until now. So
Yeah,
something to think about.
I agree. And I mean, I think for me it's just like that, it goes back to that integration, because your head is informing your emotional space and then your
Yeah.
actions. And so if you have doubt, if the thought is doubt, then the feeling is fear, and then the action is restricted. If the thought
Powerful.
is possible, the emotion is warmth, and capacity increases. It's just like really pragmatic.
I love that.
Love
I
it.
love it.
Yeah.
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 So why don't you ladies give us some final reflections, possibly on, for the ladies out there, for encouragement to maybe join your group or join a group, another mastermind, and also
Yeah.
where they can contact you to get that process started.
Yeah. So words of encouragement from me really is that if you care about living a full on joyful life for the rest of your life, it's important to surround yourself with the right people. And Caryn and I talked about like auditing anyone that energetically isn't in alignment with you and just placing yourself in a new or different friends group. I'm an extrovert, in case you didn't know, and I love doing this. I find it so invigorating and fun, and just it expands the just how I feel about living full
Yeah.
on, and it's never boring. I mean,
And that's
so
why we love following you.
oh, thank you.
That's true.
So if you are someone who is stuck and is just in a rut and just wanting and craving more expansion, and you're curious about what that could look like and feel like, then this could be something that would be supportive. And also, I'm going to throw this out there. Our Instagram handle is The Curious Collaborative. And if you comment on our last post that you heard it from this podcast, Caryn and I will gift you a month for free. How does that
Awesome.
sound?
How can
That's
how can you
amazing.
beat that? I mean,
And that was
awesome.
spontaneous.
That was, which was expected. So
Caryn, is that okay?
It's totally okay. I expect it. I know my friends too well, and I love watching it in action. So it gives me a lot of joy. I think encouragement is like, really my encouragement is that our capacity is so much uh, bigger than we believe. Even those of us that believe we have high capacity, there's just always more. And if you are seeking something, an energy, support to be ignited in helping you find and uncover that capacity, I think the Curious Collaborative is a really, really beautiful, safe space to do that in, you know? And listen, now you can be incentivized and come in and join us. And I don't take that free ticket, take it and go and come and join us and see what it's all about.
We'll definitely put the links to your Instagram handle in the show notes. Okay?
Yeah, and make sure,
Yeah.
my account is my name, Subi Zimmerman, and Caryn is her name.
Yeah.
You have an A in it though, right, Caryn?
Mine is Caryn Mefford. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's another podcast episode. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, my name is in fact Caryn Mefford. I've just gone by Caryn my whole life. So, but that's my handle. I would love to have those included and come follow me. Sue is always teaching me how to put myself out there in that Instagram space more, and I'm not as consistent, but I'm definitely intentional.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
All right. So as we wind up this episode, because we have two guests today, two wonderful, amazing guests, I'd love to keep you on and continue talking for another couple of
Forever.
hours, but I know you have to go. So normally we ask a question of our guest, and that is, what are 3 things you would have told your younger self? And because there's 2 of you, we think, well, maybe we'll just limit that to 1 question apiece. So if you could share with our audience, what is 1 thing you would have told your younger self, that would be an excellent way to wind up this episode.
Sue, do you have something that's coming to mind?
I have a lot of things.
I do too. I know. So you go first.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna just put on my fashion hat because I love fashion as much as you might see me in workout clothes all the time. And Caryn's always like, okay, I love what you're wearing, but I never would have put that together. Those things, like you just put it together. Like I would tell my younger self, like, wear whatever. Can you swear on this podcast?
Yes.
Wear whatever the fuck you want because there's no rules around fashion. And if you like bright colors, go for it. If you like fancy glasses, wear them. Like there is no right and wrong way with fashion. And it really has served me well when I'm speaking on stages and when I walk into a room because I do stand out from the crowd. And I love standing out from the crowd. I never want to blend in. And so that fashion thing that you're thinking about, like, even if it's not trending, like, do it, wear it, and don't worry about it. That's
Yeah.
what I got from my end.
I love it.
Right. Yeah.
I love that answer.
Love it.
Yeah, I was wondering which direction you were going to go in. Yeah. So, let's see, what I would say to there's a lot I would say to my younger self for sure. I think the biggest one I would say is like that instinct about yourself that that is there. So for me, it was curiosity. And I think there was a lot of feedback around like me asking too many questions, like when I was a little girl or, kid, I was too much, right? You're just not too much. Like actually that is my 100% super secret sauce and not so secret sauce. And it is like just that gut thing of knowing, listen to it and follow it and don't apologize for it. Just unapologetically let that light beam right out into the world, because that's where it's going to come back to you.
Oh, that's wonderful, ladies.
It gives me chills. It gives me chills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Beaming
We'll be
at ya.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think we should take a photo of us all.
Yeah, that
beaming.
was it.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Okay. All right. Ready?
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
That's good.
I love that so
Okay.
much.
So Joy and I need to find you guys somewhere in the world and actually get together in person.
Yes.
at
Where do you
some
guys?
point.
Are we
Yeah,
done?
where are you?
Where do you guys
We've
live?
got to wrap it up. Let me
Oh.
wrap it up real quick, and then we can chat for a second.
Chit chat.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't think you can say it any better. And thank you so much for being here on the podcast with us. That was just such a powerful message. And
Really appreciate it.
we'd love to have you on
Mhm.
again at some point, because we want to continue to hear how things are going with the Curious Collaborative. That is, if we're not there in person to see it ourselves. I'm just saying. So for those of you who are listening and watching, thank you for your support. Please give this episode a share, a like, subscribe to our channel while you're at it. Check the show notes for all the links, and stay tuned for more interesting and fun podcast episodes coming up. And until then, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Girlish Gurus. We hope you'll join us next time for more fun and inspiration. Be sure to check the description of this episode for links and information about the topic, and you can find us on our social media platforms, starting with Instagram, Facebook, and now including YouTube. You can find us by searching Girlish Gurus, and you can also check out our website, girlishgurus.com, for more information on us, our projects, books, and our growing community.
And don't forget to download this episode, give it a good review, and share it with your girlfriends. We would also love to hear from you in the comments, because the more interaction we get, the more episodes we can post. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.